What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $435 in the first hour trading. I actually finished the day up over $1,100, so it was a nice finish to the day. Kind of had some ups and downs in the morning, but let's get right into the trades. So this first trade was on UUU. UUU was on the watch list this morning. It was starting to move pre-market, and it was just one that I had my eye on. So what I was looking for out of this trade is out of the open, you had this nice pop. You had a pullback candle here. And for those that are new to my videos, the pullback is the first candle or candles that don't make a new high out of the, like, this candle broke this high. This candle broke this high. This candle tied this high. So it could technically be a pullback candle. This candle did not make a new high. It actually, the high was lower than this one, so starting the pullback. What I like to do is play the first candle over candle after a pullback. So pop, pullback, candle over candle is what I look for. So that opens up this candle. So this is a trade I was completely unaware of. This is why I highly recommend joining chat rooms, because this was a good, clean trade. And I would have missed it had I not been part of a chat room that called it out. So they called it out. I look at it. I immediately see, oh, pop, pullback, candle over candle. I go long. I did not realize right off the bat, and you'll see it when I run the live video, excuse me, is on the L2, there's a really big seller. So a lot of times when you have that kind of a setup, people won't jump in immediately because they'll wait for that big seller, I think it was like 30,000 shares, to get eaten up. When they start to see it getting eaten up, like the wall coming down, then it's like a feeding frenzy, and then they'll buy hard. It'll start like a trickle, and then a little bit more, and then as soon as like that 30,000 turns into 15,000 or 10,000, it's just as good as gone, and then it's going to pop. So that's kind of what happened. The wall came down, it popped through this level, new high a day, went to 185 and came back down. So what I started, and I took 4,000 shares on this at 178, looking for that break. Oh, I'm sorry, 173, basically 174. So took 4,000 shares, and we got the pop. And what I'm looking for to see when I should sell is, okay, we popped, we broke 180. I want to see it hold, the 10-cent levels, as I call it, the 180s, the 190s, if it got up to it. That's usually my stop losses when it gets a pop. If it breaks 190, I'll have a stop loss at 190. If it broke $2, my stop loss would be at $2. In this case, it broke 180, so my stop loss is 180. If it, I'll let it play around in the 80s and hopefully look for a 90, maybe a $2 push. I would probably sell over $2 in this case, but you get the idea. When it looked like it was going to break 180 on the way down, I started selling. I sold my first lot at 181 and the second lot at 178. So a nice little profit to start the day.
Over 75, over $1.75 is worth watching. There's a 36,000 share seller there, but if that breaks, I would jump in. So it's 32,000 shares right now.
Jesus, golf course. We have the third.
Long UUU 174.
Watching 26, 23, 22. I'm in at 75.
Third.
In for the
Out
break
half
75
81.
there. Scalping out.
All the time.
Out the rest 78.
Have a par setting up here. It's for a hole in one.
Okay, so this next trade is kind of a fluke. All right, so it's Jivo. Jivo hits my high of day Momo scanner. I click on it. Usually when I get to click on Jivo, it usually runs when it hits this high day Momo scanner. That's why I was willing to trade it. But what you don't hear or see is that there's a catalyst involved in this trade. And the catalyst is that Trump, I think tomorrow, will come out and remove the restrictions on ethanol during the summer months, which is a boon to Jivo because they use, I guess, ethanol in their product. So anyway, that's the catalyst for them, and that's why I was spiking today. And I really wanted to swing this all day, but the movement was just way too volatile for me. So anyway, the trade. So when I run the live clip, you'll see that I'm looking at Jivo like this. Uh, but the bottom of this candle is up here. And the reason why that is because E-Trade sucks. If you switch tickers, say this ticker is at 9:38 and 30 seconds, well, it will only populate this candle for the, you know, the starting at the moment you switch over to it. It won't show the previous 30 seconds of what's gone on. It won't show me the true bottom of this thing. It's really, really annoying. And I wasn't aware that it's so hard to explain without you actually seeing it. But when I clicked on this thing, I thought the bottom was right here. Was this is such the wrong. Let me use the doodle. Okay, I thought the bottom was right here. Okay, so I'm thinking that's the bottom when the true bottom was here, but I don't get to see that because E-Trade, for some reason, doesn't populate the whole candle when you click on it mid-minute. Okay, so it looks to me like this. Like this is the top, this is the bottom, when the true bottom is down here. So in this, oh gosh, when this candle opens up, what I see is a spike down, breaking this, my false low, the low that I see. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, okay, we just broke this low and it didn't go anywhere and it popped right back up. So maybe this thing's going to move to the upside, especially with the catalyst tomorrow. You got to remember that. That's kind of important. Sure enough, that's what happened. I went long at 407, got out at 413. I really wanted to be an all-day hold, but you can kind of see how volatile this thing was. It just pooped on itself, but then it would recover and go high a day, and then it would poop on itself again, and then it would recover and go high a day. It was such a crazy stock, and then it would poop on itself, and then it would recover, and then it would go high a day, and it's just all over the place. And then after hours, right? Guess where it's at? It's gapping up almost $1. I think it's settled down a little bit, but I mean it's just all over the place. And I mean Jivo's notorious for doing offerings too. So there's, I really didn't want to swing this because more than likely they'll do an offering after this is all said and done. But anyway, you can kind of see when I run the live clip that this candle does not look anything like it does now. The thing about E-Trade is if I want to see the true range of the candle, I have to wait for the full minute to close, go to a different ticker, and then come back, and then it'll show me the proper range of that candlestick. So this is kind of a fluke. It worked out, thank goodness. Jivo hitting the scanners. I'm in 408.
411. Maybe something to watch. Volume is pretty light on it right now. Let's see what it does. It might be a scalp over 410 or move up to like 415 or something like that. So some people took it, right? They'd be in at 410.
Out 412.
415.
Okay, so this next trade is Jivo again. This one, we just played this pop, and then this huge drop on, 34,000 shares of volume. Puts in this candle here, and you can kind of play the bounce up to the VWAP. That's kind of all I was doing, getting in 407. What you kind of hearing is the end conversation that Luke Murray at Fast Money Traders, highly recommend his chat room. I'm a subscriber of it. Anyway, you're hearing the tail end of the conversation that we all were having about this catalyst that I was mentioning in the previous play there. This catalyst about Trump talking about getting rid of the restrictions on ethanol tomorrow and how this is a catalyst for that. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I should swing this. And he goes and swings it, so I'm jumping in because I'm like, well, dang it, convincing me. But again, you know, Jivo's so volatile. They know they're known for doing offerings, but you know, this I thought was kind of overdone, and I thought maybe it could recover itself because of the catalyst tomorrow. Anyway, I went long 407, chasing a little bit. Pops up to 413, you know, up through here, and I sell. And then as soon as I sell, of course, it goes and hits 420, and then it's freaking craps on itself again. So it was such a hard stock today. So I was content with just playing, you know, the technical plays and, you know, grabbing some green and put it in my pocket.
All right, I'm long here on Jivo. 4.3999 average $4. So I may swing this into tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. So oil's still popping here. I guess that largest refinery in Canada had an explosion. I'm not sure.
All right, it filled 409.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this next trade was on Jivo again, and this one was actually a 5 minute play. So just like on the 1 minute charts where I talk about pop pullbacks and candle over candles and all that stuff, you can do the same thing on the 5 minute chart, and that's kind of what we had here. Let me get the right time frame. 42. Huh? It doesn't look like a 5 minute play at all. Oh, this is the wrong. Yeah. Okay, we're up here. There we go. So 10:03. Okay. Right here is where we're looking. So we have the pop. This is on the 10 minute or the 5 minute chart. The pop. Here's the pullback, and now I'm looking to play the first time it goes candle over candle after a pullback. So here's our pullback. Boom, right here. Breaks the previous candle's high right there. I'm going long. I'll draw it for you. Little doodle. Right here is where I'm going long. Boom. Okay. Oops. Doodling. Oh my gosh. Doodling too much. Whatever. Just come over. There we go. So I'm going long right here. Right in that area. I go long 412, which is just a little bit below it. So getting long in anticipation. I get that candle over candle. It pops up to what is this here? 424, and it kind of starts to sell off here. Let me see if I can find on the 1 minute chart. You can kind of see what happened. Okay, here we go. So we got the pop, and then right here it comes all the way back down. And as it's coming back down, like on this pop, I want to see it hold some support level. Like if this is previous resistance, you know, here, I want to see it. If it comes back down, I want to see it hold this level, this 414 level. It was just looking a little shady, like it's just gonna fall right through. So I didn't get to, you know, get out I was really hoping 420 would break, pop up, and then come back down to 420 and hold that level, and it didn't, and it just kept coming down and kept coming down. And at some point, you just got to take your profit because you don't know if this is just not going to run. So I took my profit, 4 cent win. It does flush out to 410, which is below my buying area. So that part was a good trade. But then out of nowhere, this stupid thing pops up. It goes high day. 3 minutes later, all the way to 450. So that's a little frustrating, but nonetheless, made money. All right, I'm long at 413. I'll stop out if 410 breaks. This 420's got to break though. There it is. Right back down. Oh, this thing is not fun to play. All right, I'm out. 416. Gotta take the profit. So this next play is shocker Jivo again. So Jivo just all of a sudden runs up, huge, huge spike right up to here. Then the next candle opens up, goes even higher, goes close to 450, and then craps on itself. And what goes into 423, right? Or 422, which is pretty close to this is intraday support now, right? This is a previous peak. This is kind of a nice support line right at 420. Another 10 cent levels, a soft support, so to speak. Kind of see another peak right there. So it's kind of like a support level. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I've seen Jivo crap on itself 1, 2, 3 times already, and it recovers every single time. I'm gonna play a little bounce on this thing. So I would have liked to gotten filled around 420. I kind of chased it as it was coming back up. I go long at basically 430. I did get a pop up to 440. I didn't take it. Starts to come back down. I think it's inside this candle. It actually threatens to go candle under candle, just like it does right here. But that's what it kind of looked like. And I didn't want to be in this for a candle under candle with a potential flush out. So, only made a penny, $10. On the daily chart, this 450 level is pretty strong resistance, but if it can crack it, the 100-day moving average is the next resistance at 470. If that breaks, all right, I bought some Jivo on this dip at 430. Stop loss is probably break even now. Nope. Can't stop out break even now. There's bigger sellers coming in here, which I don't really care for. All right, I'm out +1. I'll wait for that candle over candle on the 1 minute to get back in. Probably the break of 436. Oh, there you go. So I still think it goes, but I just didn't want to be in a flush and maybe have to be red on it. All right, so this one is like my favorite, one of my more recent favorite plays. So a lot of times if we get a recent pop, all right, a decent pop, right? This is a decent pop. We get our pullback candles right through here. If at any time on these pullback candles we get a candle under candle like this candle breaks the low of this candle, and it doesn't flush out, like it doesn't just go like this, a big drop. In this case, it only drops a penny. That tells me that the next time we go pop, pullback, candle over candle, like it breaks the high of this top right here, then it could get explosive to the upside. And that's exactly what happens. So it just confirmed, this is kind of just confirmation that it's weak to the downside, it's strong to the upside. So I saw this confirmation that, okay, think about it. If you're short, you want candle under candles, right? And if you're short and you saw candle under candle, and only, after a pop like this and it goes candle over candle for the first time, it only gives you a penny, that's a bullish sign you'd be covering. Anyway, so when this doesn't work out, I'm thinking to myself, well, the break of the next candle over candle after the pullback is going to work out well. I go long right here looking for that. I actually got in a little early. I got in early because I saw this. Got in early at 4:30, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'll just stop out if this breaks, if this low breaks, because then it's just trickling down. I don't want to be in that. But since I saw this sign right here, and it didn't go anywhere, then I want to get in early. I'll have a stop loss right here, right at this level. What is this, 425, the low of this candle? But I'll get in early because I'm anticipating that we go candle over candle now, and then it's going to get a pop. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, pops up, taps 450, couldn't break it. And shocker, it craps on itself and comes all the way back down. And, sorry, I did not get in at 4:30. I got in at 4:32. So a little early. This is my trade right here. So it goes all the way to 450. I'm basically up, 18 cents on this trade, and then it comes all the way back down in true Jivo fashion. So second time I had a big mover, a big winner. All I wanted to do was 1 penny right here. I just wanted to see it crack 450, maybe get a couple more cents squeeze, and then it just poops on itself. So I only made 2 cents on this trade, but I could have had a much bigger winner. Long at 433. Thought I was going to break and go straight to 435. So if it looks like it's going to break 430 again, I might bail, but I think it's going to move here. Yep, here it goes. Not a lot of volume on that pop, though. That's a little worrisome. If it looks like it's going to break down, I'll just bail. Here's the volume. Taps 450. Can we break it? That's an ugly candle. All right, out +3. So this last trade, I think at this time of day, I'm up around 545 or something like that. This last trade, I is Jivo again, and it was another 5-minute setup. So I played this one right here, the pop, the pullback, and the candle over candle, which did eventually lead to a nice move. Now we're looking for the second pullback here, and now I'm looking for the first time we go candle over candle, breaking the high of the previous pullback candle, going candle over candle after a pullback. So here's our pop, here's our pullback, and this is a 5-minute chart. Candle over candle, which happened right here. And this, the way it moved, is a false break. So you want, when it goes candle over candle in the 5-minute, the first time you want an explosive move, which kind of happened, but it gave it all the way back. If you watched over here on the 1-minute, you can kind of see it a little bit better. The second time, it should be a little bit weaker, but nonetheless, if the first time worked out well, the second time usually works out well. As you can kind of see, it did not work out, but nonetheless, it was worth a shot. I got in early because the 1-minute, let me get to the trade. Yeah, this is it right here. So 10:32, let's get the time frame. Okay, so we're in this mess here. It's kind of just trickling down to the VWAP. The VWAP would have been a good buy. This is where I buy. So we kind of have this mini ascending triangle right here. So if you kind of do one of these, it's real light volume, which is good. This is what you want to see. If it's coming down, you want to see the volume decrease too. You don't want to see the volume ramping up as it's coming down. So this all looked good. This kind of gave me an entry point thinking, okay, if this 428 can break, that'll be the trigger that sets off the 5-minute. Just a domino. This will break, then this will break, which is 430. Boom, boom, and we're off to the races. Well, it's a good strategy, but it didn't work out this time. I went long 428 in anticipation of this level breaking. It breaks. I double up. Let's see, right here, right side of this candle. You kind of see how it breaks this level here and it gets a nice little pop, 3 cents. And I doubled up in this little pop, but now that led to exactly what I was looking for, candle over candle in the 5-minute, but it only got me 3 cents. It didn't explode like this one did. This one was a 10-cent pop. This is only a 3-cent pop, and on really light volume, like 6,000 shares. So I bought 2,000 shares of those 6,000 shares. You can kind of see the volume right here. When I hover over the candle, 6.5 thousand shares. I was most of that. I was a third of the volume. That's a bear sign. So I let it hang there for a little bit as it watching the L2 really closely as it looked like selling was coming in. I started selling. You kind of see it right here coming back down, and I sold for a very small loss. Let's see, basically break even on one lot and -4 on the other lot, so minus $80 overall. And you can see false break, it dropped down and dropped down way a lot, and then sure enough, true Jivo fashion, comes right back up. So it was all over the place today. Long Jivo 420. 9-ish. All right, I'm out. Didn't do what I thought I was going to do. -3. This is really the only thing I traded this morning. After that, throughout the day, I did play the TVIX quite a bit as the SPY was kind of going nutso. Did play Jivo a little bit later on, made some nice money on that, and I did take a swing on GNRC. I guess I could talk about that a little bit. Up pretty good on that right now. Got an entry at 56.89. I I should have taken this earlier in the day. I didn't even think about it. Why am I still in Jivo? GNRC is what I want. So let's talk about this one. This is a swing trade. This is Generac. They make generators, and the stock has recently popped, and I'm sure it's done it plenty in the past. It's a hurricane play. So Hurricane Michael is the latest hurricane. This is Hurricane Florence. So Hurricane Florence looks like, you can kind of see here. This is the daily chart. Hurricane Florence is threatening to hit North Carolina in a big way, or South Carolina, the East Coast. Stock pops 55 to $60, $5 pop, pretty big deal. Today was the first time I heard about Hurricane Michael, and supposedly it's hitting Tuesday night, and it's going to be a Category 3 hurricane, which I believe is bigger than Florence was. So this stock is starting to pop up a little bit. It's got this 20-day moving average that I'm a little worried about. I don't know if it'll get through it or not, but as Hurricane Michael starts to dominate the news, people are going to go out. They're going to buy generators because they're probably going to lose power, and whatever. That's why this play tends to work out. Last time with Florence, Florence made landfall, I want to say on the 15th. So you can kind of see as it was making landfall right through here, it did pop up, but then Florence kind of died pretty quickly, and there wasn't really a lot of power outages. There were a lot, don't get me wrong, but not like most of the damage came from flooding. So it kind of just trailed off from there. So this is, the early buyers for Hurricane Michael. Today got some volume too, but if it hits the panhandle of Florida as a Category 3 hurricane, you'll probably see this start to even jump even higher. So I took 1,000 shares in my main account, which I don't typically do, but it's a pretty solid play. I won't go red on it. I'm green on it right now, but that is my swing trade that I'm holding on to. I did play a couple other stocks. Another one that I'm looking at swing trading is CBS. They came out yesterday saying that after the probe into Les Moonves is done, they're going to see what kind of offers they can get for the company. Hello. So CBS is for sale. The reason why that's a big deal is because back here, when it was rumored that they were going to be for sale, I think it was back here. Let me double check on that. FOXA. Okay. Hit its peak in June. So let's look at CBS in June. Okay, so CBS went to 60, basically $60 on rumors that they could be bought out because, you know, Fox, 21st Century Fox was being, you know, sold for a crap ton of money. And now that it's official that they're actually looking for buyers, this, I would assume this is going to break 60 pretty easily. So this is a stock to watch for sure. It probably goes up tomorrow, so I'll be watching this one pretty closely. Anyway, that's all for the video. If you have any questions on my trading style, feel free to ask. I have a free chat room. Link for that is in the description down below. A lot of good traders in there that want to help out. And also, please check out the chat rooms I subscribe to. I've subscribed to them for years, and I will continue to subscribe to them. So check them out. If you're interested in any of them, let me know, and I'll help you decide which one's right for you, because they're all kind of different. All right, I'll see you in the next video.